SHAPE. Shape.
Hey there, it's Philip Emmanuel here, popularly called Coach Phil, and in this brief section I'll be taking you through my shape journey and my testimony. Here we be able to understand limitations that held me back and how I explored the shape solution and then the shape model. You already know my name is Philip Emmanuel, right? So basically, as the firstborn of my family, it was very okay for me to work hard, and I was working hard because I can be appreciated and then I can be loved. More importantly is that I needed to be there for my siblings and my parents, and somehow I just needed to be in charge, take control of situations, control people, and honestly, I felt this was basically me trying to be responsible, right? I needed to be there as the firstborn. Leadership responsibility was already on my shoulder. I needed to, basically for the African people, those of you from Africa, once you're the firstborn, they tell you that people are looking up to you, so you cannot afford to misbehave. So that was my case. I was trying to be responsible, but then this need to be responsible and take charge as I evolved through different stages of my life. It then mean I was often connecting with others through competition, through challenges, physicality, conflict, rather than softer emotion. And as I grew and I met different persons and work in different places, I felt then I had something to prove. I needed to prove something because that was how I can be respected. I needed to take charge at work, in school. So when I was not proving a point, I was battling low self-esteem because I felt like I have to be in control. If I don't control things, if I don't control people, I thought they will control me. So I needed to be proving a point because that was how I was getting my validation. I felt people will only respect me when I am in charge, and more importantly, when I'm achieving results. So that was how I adopted what you come to see as a controller and hyperachiever limiting pattern. And these patterns basically equated my status with my happiness and activity. So I didn't felt I was anybody until I was working, doing things here and there, and more importantly, I was achieving results. I felt that was how people were going to respect me, that's how people were going to recognize me. And so when I was not getting the recognition and I was not getting the respect, I felt less and less of myself. So I was seeking to control outcomes in my favor, so that that times I made setback. For example, I was giving you an instruction, do this. I've been going through a lot for you in my mind. Can't you see the effort I'm putting for you, doing this, especially in my relationship with my siblings or other loved ones? I'm doing this much for you. The least I expected that you respect me and you listen to me. So in those conditions, when I met setback, when I didn't feel like I was heard, it then damaged my self-esteem and it made recovery very slow and painful. And somehow, even now, I can still hear that voice saying, Emmanuel, you are not good enough. Come off it. If you are good enough, they will respect you, they will love you, they will appreciate you. But this is you now. They are not respecting you. So guy, you are not good enough. You have to do more. You have to prove your point. You have to control. Stuff like that. And that's basically how I adopted those patterns. And those patterns really held me back for a long time. I thought it was a norm, but as I evolved, I noticed that something was wrong because the same patterns that brought me to where I was, they're the things stopping me from going to from getting to where I ought or where I needed to be in my life, in my career, and even with my relationships. So, what am I currently doing differently? What am I doing differently? First of all, I'm being able to identify the patterns and habits. That's the very first thing I'm able to do differently right now. I'm able to identify the patterns and habits. Then I'm able to review them, understand them detailedly, how they work, where they came from, where I got them from, understand the thoughts, the feelings around them, and then I'm being able to engage in a superior approach. It is called the SHAPE program. You'll get to know that very soon as we go along in this presentation, and it has helped me eliminate these patterns. All right. Or rather, I would say it's helping me eliminate this pattern because usually I'm a work in progress. Okay, first, how did I identify these patterns? I took a test. I took a scientific assessment by Positive Intelligence. It's a broad research. It covers four broad research areas: neuroscience, cognitive behavioral psychology, positive psychology, and then performance science. All right. It's called Positive Intelligence. It was the brain behind this is Shizad Shaman of the Stanford University, and this has been validated by over 500,000 participants across 50 countries. 50 nations of the world. And this was my test result after taking it. I took this test first in February 6, 2022. These were the 9 patterns. There's one other pattern called the Master Judge that's not captured here. The controller, you can see I was focused on my top 3 dominant saboteurs. They are called saboteurs. You'll get to learn about them shortly. The controller, the hyperachiever, and this was way too high at 8.8, 8.1, 6.9, 5.6, 5.5. It was already way too high. I think the healthy balance was between 3.1, 2.5, 3.8, that region. So for me, the top 3 saboteur, controller, hyper-rational, hyperachiever, were sabotaging me. They were even the avoider. So all of these, I know these are so much jargons for you, but what I can dare tell you is that there are 10 saboteurs, like I said earlier on, and then for me, there are 9 and 1 master judge. Basically, for me, these are the saboteurs, like you've seen them in the previous slide. You have the controller, hyperachiever, hyper-rational, and these were the mind that was sabotaging me, that made me feel less of myself, that brought in imposter syndrome, that made me feel like a fraud, that made me feel like I was not enough, that made me feel like I just could not measure up because I was not being recognized with my effort and my activities. All of those, this was the same patterns that made me equate my status with my happiness and activities. And then what you begin to see is that there are 9 major patterns, and they have helped me survive real emerging traits as a child based on my past. And there was a master pattern called the judge. The guy on black here is the judge. The judge is that internal enemy that tells you are not good enough. That voice I said I was hearing in my head that said you are not good enough, that's the judge. And everyone has one, trust me. But then what I needed to do from here was to be able to make a switch, a mental switch from these saboteurs to what we call the sage powers. Basically, there are 5 sage powers. That was my goal. That was what I needed to do. I've seen the pattern. What do I need to do? I have to move. I have to stop sabotaging. I have to stop. I have to break the limitation. I have to break the cycle. All right. So these are the 5 sage powers, and what you got to understand is that the sage lives in a different region of our brain, and it generates and partner with positive emotions to unleash my most authentic self, because I'm still in the process. And this mind was a mind that was serving you. The other guy who shared the saboteurs with the mind self-sabotaging you. And that's how I got in on the SHAPE program, and it's one tested and trusted solution to effectively build the mental muscles to move me from saboteur to sage. And this was created by Tekena Ikoko. It's a 12 weeks program, and the operating system is really very clear. I took these for, mine was spanned for beyond 12 weeks though, because I was trying to take this at my pace. The SHAPE program tells you that if you are feeling the negative emotions, consistent negative emotions, prolonged rather negative emotions, you have to stop. You are in saboteur mode. You see that one of those saboteur, controller, hyperachiever, hyper-rational, they're taking their toll on you. All right, so you have to just know that when there is a presence of prolonged negative emotions, you are self-sabotaging. You are in your saboteur mode. All right, and then you must be able. I learned to activate my center. I haven't known that I'm in saboteur mode. What I needed to do quickly was activate my center by doing some exercise like NESCAP. So those things are captured in the SHAPE program, and all of this was to be able to quieten the saboteur and then activate my sage. You will get to learn about this if you can come in on the SHAPE program. All right, and there's a special offer for you at the end of this presentation, so you want to stay to the end. And then I'm able to assume a sage perspective by using one of the sage tools, the sage goggles, and you'll be able to see that in every problem, in every situation, there is an opportunity. And maybe if you do it very well, you might be able to convert problems to gifts and opportunity, and then you can then partner with positive emotions like empathy, curiosity, creativity to generate these gifts. And this was the routine I've been doing for the past months rather, to move me from saboteur to sage. It's not been an easy journey, but it's been very worth it. So why did I do the SHAPE program? What makes it different from all that coaching or emotional intelligence and personal development training I've attended over the years? First of all, I learned that lasting positive changes requires 20% insights and 80% mental muscles. And this was what the SHAPE program brought for me. Beyond the insights I was getting, it then was able to put me in the actual environment necessary to build the mental muscle that can sustain the learning, that can sustain the knowledge, and more importantly, that can sustain the result. I didn't just want to come for a one-off training that they give me XYZ, take this, and then that's all. No, I needed to shift. You understand? So I needed beyond insight. I needed the mental muscles, and that's what the shape activities did for me, or they are doing for me. They come in like twice or thrice daily, and as I'm able to exercise my mental muscles, as I'm able to build the mental muscles, as I'm able to see my saboteurs, intercept my saboteurs, I am then being able to move from saboteur to sage. All right. So basically, a couple of weeks down the line, after or during the shape program, I went back to take this assessment again. And this assessment I took this time July 15th, this 2022. You can see the results. We'll compare with the previous results shortly, and you'll see where I have been and where I am going to. And if you look at, this was the result I took during the shape program, and let's look at the one before the shape program. Let's see if there are differences, if I'm making progress, if there's something changing in my life. All right. So here is the result I took before the shape program. Right on your right hand side, you can see the controller was 8.8, way too high. So I was focused on working on the top 3 saboteur. But over the past 12 weeks I did this, I saw that I was really able to work on the controller and then the hyperachiever. However, I see that a beautiful opportunity is presented to me right now to be able to work on the hyperactioner. You see, so if you look at the results, you see that there have been changes, there have been growth over the period I've been doing the shape program. And I know that as I keep building my mental muscles, I'll come to the point where I've been able to fully unleash my most authentic self, and then I've stopped self-sabotaging. And this is what has happened to me over the weeks, and it's been amazing. It's the reason you should do this. It's that every one of us has limitations, limiting patterns, and my surprise is that the same thing that brought you to where you are the same thing stopping you from where you need to be. And this has been so revealing for me. This past month have been revealing for me. I'm usually a work in progress, but this is my story. It's been an amazing journey for me. I'm no longer that controlling personality, that guy who wants to jump from one success to another and not find satisfaction and just to be doing things. I've been able to, in fact, I've been able to what do I say now? I've been able to realign or reset my motivation for the things I want to do. Why am I doing this? Why is this important? So I'm now able to think more like a sage than allow my saboteur to ruin me. And this is the reason why you too should do the shape program. The shape team are giving you free introductory course to shape your happiness and your most productive life. And you can actually get this for free for the next 7 days. No hidden charges, no cost attached, no financial commitment. Just look around, click the link in the description below, or just click the link below this video to get started. Get your 7 days, including onboarding activities. 2 shape activities requires 5 to 10 minutes. Determine if the full shape course is for you after doing that 7 days activities. It's been amazing. There's been testimony. You can just go straight now through the link in the comment section in the description and check for yourself what others are saying about it, and then how then you can go about it. All right. Your next step, you have to take your first step right now. First of all is to register below for the free version of the shape program. Use the link in the description to register. Expect an email within 24 hours inviting you to accept your access to our platform. It's called Quenza. This is where the whole shape program is being deployed. Nobody's bringing you to a live class. You get to take these activities, this exercise at your pace during your day. Maybe you need like 5 to 10 minutes a day to do this. So that's not so much for you to be the mental muscles, right? That's not so much for you to invest for the change you want to see. When you've done that, then through the invitation, you download the app and then you create your account. Then your shape free mode will be loaded within 24 hours of completing the first 3 steps. And then in your first activity, you take your own saboteur assessment. You saw my own assessment just now before doing the shape program. You take your very first assessment, and then you'll be able to get a consultant to debrief your videos, your result with you, your top 3, and then you receive 2 shape activities for the next 7 days to give you a fantastic experience of the shape free version. Doesn't this sound exciting? So what you can then do right now is to immediately head on to the landing page and to the link in the comment section, and then register for the shape program. If you have questions you want to ask, you can reach me right on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is on the description down below. You can reach me on WhatsApp, or you can send an email. You can head on to the website at experienceshape.com. I am rooting for you, and I am hoping you will make the rest of your life the best of your life by leveraging on the SHAPE program. Bye bye.
SHAPE. SHAPE.